I'm part of one of the local district teams, so West Yorkshire District, where I support with the coaching there. We also have my own club where I coach, Woodlands Cricket Club. We have a women and girls setup over there. We start from the age of 9 and it goes all the way up to under 15s, and then post under 15s we have the link with the Bradford ladies. I think for me, people would say I've been quite a sporty person. I'd have sort of almost the boys that were the same age as me. We would play in the street together. In fact, they'd come knocking on my door sometimes and they'd be like, "Can Halima come and play out?" I think the older I got, the harder it got, because then when the boys would come sort of knocking on the door, and this was when I'm sort of 12, 13, that's when my parents would open the door and say, "No, she's not coming to play out." And I suppose hitting that puberty age, it becomes very different as a sort of a young girl turning into sort of a young adult. It was very limited to me and my brother just playing in the garden. It wouldn't be with the other boys in the street. We never did cricket as a sport in high school. The boys would do cricket and the girls would do rounders. So I was captain of the rounders team. I mean, at that time we only had the basic terrestrial channels, and that was just due to being a low-income family. So therefore our access to watching cricket or sport was quite limited unless it was the national side. However, saying that, we would religiously watch when Pakistan or England are playing. So my earliest memories would only ever be of a Pakistan-England game on TV. So you're looking back in your days of Wasim Akram, Waqar Younis, Imran Khan. When I left secondary school at 16 actually, cricket stopped for me totally then. Actually any sport stopped for me. And unfortunately the only time I started playing cricket again was when I got my driving licence at 21, and then I looked into the local club, which was Bradford Ladies, and credit to them, they never made me feel as an outsider. And then they started playing me in the second team to start off with, and then it was actually the coach and the manager there who said, "You need to come into the first team." I was reluctant at first because I'd only ever played cricket in the streets, so going from playing cricket in the streets to then being asked to play in a first team for a club, it is quite nerve-wracking. I think at that time everyone thinks they could just play for England. But when you get to a club, you see actually the force or the talent that is on the other side. And what became very apparent to me was my lack of coaching at a young age. And then the realisation almost hit in to say, actually I'm never going to make it to the elite level because I've come into this too late. So one of the reasons I went into coaching was because I almost saw myself as that example and say, well, actually it'd be nice for me to do the research around what junior clubs there are, become a coach, try and coach some women, mainly try and get into them communities and one day maybe have an Asian female playing for England. When I first started my coaching, I think I gained my level 2 in 2007 or 2008. There was nothing then, and I think that was the key. So when I actually went on to my level 2 course, I had to pay for it out of my own pocket, and the closest course for me was nearly 2 hours from here. So again, it only happened because I had my car, so I would drive myself there every weekend. When I did my course, I was the only female on there as well. I think sometimes people tend to focus on the person themselves, but actually it's the outside factors that we need to focus on, and if we can get to the bottom of them and encourage that participation, the byproduct of participation and playing will come through that. Actually, how can we encourage the women to come to these games? So when the juniors are playing, rather than the dads bring them, can we get the mums to bring them? The clubs need to show, rather than just sort of saying that they're more inclusive to women and girls, for me I like to see that practically. How are you showing that you're more inclusive to women and girls? Because I've had many clubs that have said, yeah, we have women and girls and they're all welcome. But the things that I will look at is, well, actually, if you're working with women and girls, what does your clubhouse look like? What environment is there that shows that this is inclusive for women? Do you have the appropriate changing rooms? Are the girls and boys getting changed in the same place? Where I'm going to Bradford 3, which is a predominantly Asian area, I'm still seeing that the club in Bradford 3, the cricket club, still has 10 non-Asian players and 1 Asian player. So we need to try and tackle that at a club level. And then eventually I think one of the other things that Yorkshire needs to start doing is the scouts coming out a bit more to where these communities are playing, where these South Asian boys are playing their cricket. Essentially, the Quaid-e Azam League started from nothing, and if we look at it today, it's huge. Is there an opportunity to replicate that now with females?